Stumble, Virtue, Vice, and the Space Between covers a number of virtues. I'm going to talk about peace and my friend, St. Augustine. Recently, I set out on a road trip from LA to a Catholic convent south of Tucson. Every so often, I plan a retreat, and I'd been looking forward to this one for months. It's a straight shot on the 10 freeway, and anyone who's driven that stretch knows that once you get past Palm Springs, there's not much till Phoenix. It was baking hot out, but I couldn't have been better prepared. I'd had my tires checked and my oil changed. I had sunscreen, water, and a series of taped lectures on St. Augustine. I cruised along, AC blasting. For years, I learned as the lectures progressed, Augustine had been tormented by the concept of evil. How could a good God, he wondered, create or allow evil? 4 hours outside LA, I happened to glance at the temperature gauge on my car. The needle was in the red, up as far as it could go. I pulled over, called AAA, and discovered I was entitled to be towed a big 6 free miles. In the city, with a mechanic on every block, all you could need. In the middle of an empty desert, a cruel joke. What would St. Augustine think about this, I wondered, sweating by the side of the road as I waited for the tow guy. It cost me $175 to have my car brought to a shop in Quartzsite, Arizona, Best Auto. Johnny, Red Bull in hand, was friendly but firm. There were no parts stores in Quartzsite. He'd have to order a radiator. Let's see, he said, this is Wednesday afternoon. Should be in Friday by 11. Then he called his wife Anna, who very generously carted me and my mountain of stuff off to the local Super 8 motel. What a nightmare, I thought. I was supposed to be on retreat at a Cistercian abbey, not stranded in a hotel room hard by the freeway, in a one-horse town with no cell phone reception, no online access in the hotel, and the temperature hovering at 108 degrees. Wandering around on foot the next day, though, I discovered the open-air marts piled high with rocks and crystals, so hot in the sun it burned my fingers to touch them. I visited the tomb of High Jolly, 19th century camel driver. At dusk, I made my way to the top of the hill behind the hotel and watched the sunset, thinking of St. Augustine's lament on the years spent without the knowledge of God. Late have I loved thee, O beauty so ancient and so new, he had written. Late have I loved thee. 2 afternoons later, right on schedule, Johnny called. Your car is ready, he said. Anna's waiting outside to bring you to the shop. I couldn't believe how nice these folks were to taxi me around for free, and it was with a profound sense of relief that I drove my own car away from Best Auto. All the baking 300 miles to the convent the next morning, I mulled over St. Augustine's concept of evil. A lack of good, he decided, a tear in an otherwise good shirt, a crack in an otherwise good radiator, an $800 3-day inferno of a detour in an otherwise good, but no, I had lacked for nothing those 3 days, not food, not shelter, not kindness. That wasn't evil, just good in a form different than the one I'd planned. And the temperature gauge stayed right exactly in the middle, the whole blessed way. I'm Heather King. Thanks for paying attention to my stumblings. Be sure to buy my book and to learn about my new improved stumblings at heather-king.com.